Welcome to Channel Japan. I'm Mai Denizu.
And I'm Makiko Tsuda.
Every week we bring you the freshest information out of Japan from a studio here in Tokyo.
From the economy to culture and even foods, if you want to find out what's happening in Japan right now, this is where you'll find it.
Channel Japan Ranking.
First up is Channel Japan Ranking, in which we rank some of the hottest products and services in the country. Well, today's theme is street performances.
Yes, that's right. Now, here's a ranking based on an internet survey asking people in Japan what kind of street performances they wish they could do. So as you can see, juggling comes at the top, then magic tricks, balloon art, acrobatics, pantomime. So, Demi-san, can you do any of these?
Well, I've actually tried the top 3.
You have?
Well, during my work.
Oh, okay.
But they were really, really difficult to do.
Difficult.
Right. Well, street performances have been actually very popular in Japan, but juggling, which ranked in the first place, is very similar to Japan's traditional game, otedama.
That's right. Just to give a quick explanation, otedama is a game where small cloth bags filled with beans or rice are thrown and caught while singing, and it's a traditional game, but you don't really see it anymore.
No. Well, such performances are fun to watch, but there are also individuals with amazing skills who are not actual entertainers. Take a look.
Our first stop is a restaurant in Tokyo. This man has a flair for cooking. Nobuhide Hirano is a master chef of teppanyaki grilling. The chef gives a performance as he grills steak. He takes a bottle of brandy and this is a process called flambe, where liquor is added to food and ignited to develop flavor and aroma. Take a look at the flames in slow motion. They reach a height of over 1 meter. It adds a dramatic effect for the diner.
目で楽しむの。
見ている人を楽しむ。
そう、料理って最初目でしょ。待ち時間を飽きさせずにこう召し上がれるようにどんどん新しいものを生み出しています。
He has his own style for making a traditional dish, okonomiyaki, pancakes stuffed with vegetables and meat. Once the batter is cooked, he cuts them into small pieces and adds bonito shavings and a special wasabi sauce. He then takes out a raw egg and spins it. He cracks it with the flipper onto the okonomiyaki. Let's take a careful look. The egg spins around. He uses the snap of his wrist to lift and breaks the egg. And there's more to the performance. The mayonnaise travels almost 3 meters from behind the counter. This maneuver was developed by Hirano. The wrist is moved meticulously so the mayonnaise moves in waves to evenly cover the entire okonomiyaki.
これで完成ですか？
完成です。
お好み焼きを一つ作るのにい
大げさだよね。
ろんなパフォーマンスが詰まってますね。
そう、これで1200円安いよね。
Next, we visit an expert cashier. She speaks with a clear voice and swipes with precision, while her posture seems effortless.
118円、97円、97円、98円、97円、98円、72円、98円。ありがとうございます。3504円のお買い上げでございます。
Hiromi Sunaga has been a cashier for 10 years. We test her ability at the cash register. How long does it take to swipe 30 products?
スタート。
77円、97円、97円。
She reads out each price and accurately swipes the products.
105円88円はい
Tsunaga finishes in 37 seconds. Let's take a look at the master in slow motion. By the time the product reaches the scanner, the barcode is always facing the machine. The same applies to bottled drinks. She uses both hands to scan the code. This is the secret to her quick swiping technique.
手順打ちはバーコードの位置を覚えることです。
なるほど。
Tsunaga has memorized the position of the barcode on several thousands of products. Tsunaga honed her skills at this supermarket's training facility for their employees. Cashiers train at this facility to perfect their skills. Tsunaga trained here for 2 months and won a national competition for skills in service and scan speed.
このひたすらこの練習を
何度も繰り返すんですか？
はい。
There's more to the training.
こんにちは、いらっしゃいませ。ご来店ありがとうございます。98円で、はい。98円、198円、298円、398円、498円、598円。
They're practicing to speak and meet the customers with a smile at all times. Synchronized movements are required.
5000円で、はい、5000円お預かりいたします。5000円。
The last step is a farewell greeting.
ありがとうございました。またお越しくださいませ。はい、どうぞ。
It has been a year since Tsunaga last joined training.
楽しいんです。辛いですけど楽しいんです。本当に見本になれるように教えていきたい。見本に本当になります。
Next, we visit Morimachi in Hokkaido. At a train station about 50 minutes from Hakodate, tourists from all over Japan rush to seek a local specialty. This is what they come for.
森町名物のイカ飯です。
The ikameshi has won the Railway Boxed Meals competition 4 years in a row. It costs $5. This local specialty is a squid filled with rice, cooked in a sweet soy sauce-based soup. It is only sold in 2 stores near the train station, but on some days more than 1,000 are sold each day. Making ikameshi requires special skills. Yukiko Sano has been making this local delicacy for 36 years.
じゃあ行きますよ。はい。じゃあスタート。
She is a master of stuffing the squid with rice. We time how long it takes for her to stuff one squid. It only took a little over 4 seconds. The process was recorded in slow motion. She takes the squid in her left hand, places in the tool with her right hand. As she finishes putting in raw rice, she throws the tool aside and aims with a toothpick. She controls how the toothpick enters with her fingers. The master repeats this process at a fast speed. But we have one question.
米いっぱい入れないんですね。
お米いっぱい入れたらね、イカが縮んでお米が膨れるから。
When the stuffed squids are stewed, the squid shrinks but the rice expands. The master adjusts the amount of rice depending on the size of the squid. When filled with too much rice, the rice is undercooked, and the squid stretches and hardens. We are now in Osaka, at a store with a long line for the traditional snack takoyaki. The balls of batter being grilled and turned quickly are called takoyaki. The man working the two picks at high speed is Atsuhiro Nakagawa, a veteran of 20 years. When we time him, it takes about 3 seconds to turn over one column. That means 0.4 seconds per takoyaki ball. This shop is popular for its mild batter with added milk and the crunchy texture made from tempura crumbs. Tempura crumbs absorb the batter's moisture, so the takoyaki need to be turned quickly.
どうやって焼いてんのってお客さんに言われる時もあるんですけど、正直もう体が覚えてますんで、口ではちょっと説明しがたい部分があります。
When we take a closer look, we can see the master's skills. He cuts the batter with his right pick, and with the snap of his wrists, he turns it over into a ball. The expert's skills are what make this takoyaki crispy on the outside and creamy on the inside. We now visit Yamato Koriyama City in Nara Prefecture, a city famous for goldfish, to meet a master at the game of goldfish scooping. Koji Shimomura is an expert at this traditional game of scooping goldfish, often seen at festivals. He effortlessly scoops 2 or 3 fish, or even more, at once. In just a minute, he scooped up a total of 35 goldfish. When we looked around, we found other people immersed in the game. This is a goldfish scooping center run by Shimomura. He is a pioneer in developing a scooping method based on his own theories. Many students come to this center to learn from the master.
今お弟子さんって何人ぐらいですか？345です。こっちさえ分かれば大丈夫。これはね、こういうの紙に負担をかけない水圧も極力避ける。
The net used to scoop the goldfish, called poi, is made of paper tissue. When a beginner tries, the thin paper tears. But when Shimomura uses the poi, the paper does not break even though there's a lot of movement. To avoid water pressure, he enters the poi at a 45-degree angle and maintains a parallel movement underwater. These are the 2 main tips. When the poi is moved up and down, the paper easily breaks from water pressure, but when moved sideways, the pressure is reduced significantly. Another tip is in scooping up the goldfish. Shimomura pulls up the poi once the tail is outside of the rim. This is his secret technique. The goldfish flaps its tail around, but it does not break the paper since it's outside the rim. He pulls the poi out of the water diagonally to remove the water from the paper's surface and to keep water pressure at a minimum.
斜めに水を落とし込むように持ったやつを塗る。この一瞬。
Currently, Shimomura is concentrating on training the younger generation. Even a national champion was born from his center.
すいません。お姉ちゃんは連覇目指します。
The world of goldfish scooping seems to be profound.
It was very incredible to see how work and hobby can become entertainment to others when skills are mastered. Well, especially that girl, the former goldfish scooping champion, she was very serious in practicing.
I know, and her concentration was really remarkable.
Also, seeing the cashier's effort behind the scene to improve their speed and accuracy is something that we wouldn't see as a customer.
That's true, I agree. It's interesting how these people obviously perfected their skills to better their skills as a whole, but it's actually entertaining to watch at the same time.
And also about the story about the chef, his skill with his tool enhanced the whole dining experience, I think.
Yes, and looking at the bigger picture, recently in Japan, attention has increased for street performances, and in November 2013, a Street Performance World Cup was held in Shizuoka Prefecture. And unfortunately, there were no Japanese winners, but maybe we can look forward to seeing one in the future that dazzles the crowd with their brilliant skills.
Well, I can't wait to see that happen. Well, that's it for Channel Japan Ranking. After the break, we'll show you a popular documentary program. Stay tuned.
For Earth for Life, Kubota. One day has finished, and one new day has started on somewhere in the world. Kubota supports every moment somewhere out in the world. By the mechanization of agriculture, by the maintenance of water infrastructure, by the latest environmental engineering. We support a prosperous life for humans while protecting the environment of this beautiful Earth. Food, water, and the environment link the world. Kubota.
Together, let's generate happiness. Let's raise the world to new heights. Let's carry our dreams further. At the heart of society, Toshiba Technology. For a growing future, Toshiba. Together, let's create better healthcare. Let's develop a sustainable environment. Let's give children a promising tomorrow. At the heart of society, Toshiba Technology. For a growing future, Toshiba.
As the future evolves, Toyota is envisioning a more interconnected life where information and energy flow seamlessly throughout the globe. The road ahead will require diverse and eco-friendly mobility solutions. It is on this path that our small choices lead to big changes. Life. Connected. Toyota.
You're watching Channel Japan. In our next segment, we bring you a popular documentary program. From Japanese Dream by TBS, today we feature a young woman trying to bring a traditional Japanese craft into the future.
Now, according to Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, in the past 30 years, the numbers for both production yield and craftsmen have fallen to about a third of what it used to be. Now, Rika Yajima is making strenuous efforts to overcome these circumstances. She produces items for children using Japanese traditional handicrafts.
Well, she's trying to pass on the skills of craftsmen to the future by creating products that children would be able to use easily and would grow fond of as they grow older. Take a look.
A young woman graduated with a master's degree in the spring of 2013. She is a breath of fresh air in the world of traditional handicrafts. She is leading the way toward giving traditional handicrafts a chance to shine through innovative ideas. Traditional handicrafts lie at the core of Japan's culture of craftsmanship. However, over the last 3 decades, the number of artisans has decreased by 2/3. Yet now, a certain kind of traditional handicraft is flying off the shelves in unprecedented numbers. Surprisingly, children are a key factor in this recent development.
デザインが素晴らしいんでね、あとは今説明聞いたら、機能的にもすごく考えられてるなっていうの。
The shift in the world of centuries-old traditional handicrafts began with a single idea. It is spearheaded by Rika Yajima, who wants to develop traditional handicrafts that can be used by children throughout their entire lives.
デザインとか機能性とか、今を生きている私たちが何を求めているのかっていうところに結びつけられていないんだと思ったんですよ。
希望の光ではないですけど、彼女自身を応援したいっていう気持ちもありますし。
We'll shine a spotlight on this youthful company president as she brings a breath of fresh air into the world of traditional handicrafts in Japan.
I have a dream.
Yajima visited a traditional handicraft workshop. She visits about 10 of them a month.
木の板にこうつけて渡すっていう。いやでも残っててすごく嬉しい手作りが。これ天日干しするんですか？
直接当てたらあかんです。影で。
影干し。
Yajima is brimming with enthusiasm as she speaks to the craftsmen. She's driven by the desire to create a new kind of traditional handicraft.
子どもたちが本当にいいものを一生ずっと大切に使えるようなものを0から6歳のうちから使ってもらえたらいいなと思って、小さい時に職人さんが作った手作りのものとかそういうものに今触れられる環境っていうのは本当に少ないなと思っていまして、
今回子どもたちに伝統産業っていうのは初めて聞きますね。
あ、本当ですか。
ちょっと面白い企画ではあると思いますね。
Even craftsmen find the idea of using traditional handicrafts to create products for young children to be innovative.
こことここの比率をだいたい黄金比にして、ですごいシェイプをちょっとモダンに可愛くした。
これが子供の手でしょ。
そうそうそうそう。
シュッ
スパッと。
これでこうやって支えられる。そういう感じ？
そういう感じです
よ。Yajima had an inspiration to create a spill-resistant cup. She designed the cup with a ledge so that even tiny hands can easily hold onto it. Koishiwara City in Fukuoka Prefecture has been known for traditional pottery since the Edo period. Yajima visited this 400-year-old pottery stronghold. She was greeted by Kanjiro Moriyama, a Koishiwara craftsman. Although he is only 28 years old, He has already won a nationwide ceramics competition. Moriyama has already created prototypes based on the designs that had been sent to him.
最初の段階で、これから削るんですけど。
Then Yajima had another idea.
なるべく子供がつるっとしないように、この指の引っかかりがあるんですよ。なのでここに飛び鉋が入ってたらよりグリップ感良くなるかなと思ったんですよ。いかがですかね。
The 400-year-old Koishiwara pottery tradition employs a technique known as tobi-kanna, in which an iron tool is carefully applied to the surface to create an even pattern. Yajima realized this technique and its resulting textured pattern works as a non-slip grip that would prevent children from dropping the cup. Moriyama's youthful and flexible artistic sensibilities bring her idea to life.
ちょこっとそうですね。
これはすごく可愛い。間近で見てそれをどう伝えていくかなんですよね。だからやっぱり必ず現場に行ってものづくりをしないと、なのでこう見せていただけるっていうのはすごい幸せですよね。
This spill-resistant cup may represent a new kind of traditional handicraft that can be passed on for generations. How will it turn out?
嘘偽りのないものづくりにこだわっている人たちが日本全国にいるっていうことはもっともっとこう私たちは日本の中にある宝物にもう一度気がつくべきだと思ったんですよね。惚れたっていう感じですね。大好き。
Yajima's love for traditional handicrafts is her driving force. The prototype arrived a few days later. A major department store had agreed to carry the product. Yajima decided to test whether the cup worked as intended before it went out on display. The children seemed to have a natural knack for holding the cups without requiring instructions. It seemed the feedback would be positive.
今度この子が持つようになった時にもうちょっと大きい方がいいのかと思うんですけど、
やっぱりこれ持ちやすいけどもうちょっともう一回り大きい方がいいかな。ちょっと容量が少ない。
Concerns over the cup's limited capacity were expressed multiple times. Yajima immediately asked the Koishiwara craftsman Moriyama to remake the cups in a larger size. Yajima and Moriyama stand united in their shared goal to preserve traditional handicrafts for future generations.
"やっぱり職人の手で作られたものにからできるやっぱり器に込められた思いっていうのが使う子どもたちに伝わるんじゃないかな。
3 weeks later, Yajima was at a department store after closing hours. The spill-resistant cups that were remade had arrived just in time.
いいですね、やっぱり。
いやでも精度はか
なり精度上がりましたね。最初に買ってくれた人と握手しちゃいそう。
The ledge allows the cup to rest on a child's small fingers. The textured pattern serves as a non-slip grip. It has the polished finish of a master craftsman. It is a product that can be used for a lifetime, by children as a spill-resistant cup, and by adults as a drinking cup. The cups were placed in a highly visible location. The following day, the cups went on sale.
持っていただくと引っかかりが大人の手でもそうなんですよ。これうまく子供のところにこうやってつけて
The cups are proving to be a difficult sell.
Ittakimasu.
4 hours after the store opened, Yajima had to leave to tend to another task. But right after her departure, a woman picked up one of the cups. The cup was sold to its first customer.
大人になってもお酒飲む時に使えるようなデザインですのでいいと思います。はい。
The woman who purchased the cup showed how her 3-year-old son was using it.
はい、どうぞ。
The footage was shown to Yajima.
ずっと飲んでる。ずっと飲んでる。無言で。
飲み終わった。
かわいい。
本人がこれこぼれにくいって言ったのがすごいびっくりしたんです。はい。このコップ飲みやすいよね。
The child's smile was worth all the effort Yajima had put in. The footage was also shown to Moriyama.
おー、しかも勘次郎さんがこれ見てる。
いやー、すごいですね。何か嬉しいっていう感じです。はい、わざわざこちらまで来てもらって、でいろいろ話していく中で今のコップが出来上がってきたと思うので、なんかすごく自分もこう知らない人から言われるんじゃなくてわざわざ足を運んできてくれたっていうその気持ちがすごく嬉しかったですし、やっぱそれに自分も応えれるように頑張りたいなっていうのは感じます。なんかもう自分も協力できることがあればやっていきたいと思いますので、その明るい笑顔でずっと頑張っていってください。
すごいびっくり。いつも私は本当に職員さんたちにお世話になってばっかりいるなと思っていたので、なんかこういう風になんか言っていただけてすごい嬉しかったです。日本の素敵な宝物、技術、魅力的な人とのつながり、みんなでこのあったかい連鎖をまたつないでいけたらいいなと思います。
Well, I'm so glad to see that Yajima's wish of wanting the children to feel very close to traditional Japanese handicraft seemed to have reached the children.
That's true, yes. She says that she once heard from a pottery craftsman that ceramic can break, but that is how children learn to handle things with care, and she says she was very moved by those words.
That's a very wonderful motivation, I think. But other than the cup, are there any other product that she produced?
Yes, there is. Let me show you. There's this picture here, and it's called the spill-resistant dish. So this dish is made of Tobeyaki pottery, which is a nationally designated traditional craft that originated in the town of Tobe in Ehime Prefecture about 230 years ago.
Wow. Well, what makes this dish very special?
Yes, if you can see over here in the inside of the dish, there's a ridge of about 5 millimeters, and that allows small children who can't use their spoons very well to eat without spilling their food. So when a child slides the spoon up the insides of the dish, like here, the ridge helps bring food onto the spoon, and the child can avoid spilling the food.
Wow, that's very fascinating.
It is, isn't it? And also the traditional skills of Tobeyaki pottery makes it smooth, and also it's difficult to break.
So it seems that her new idea may expand the possibility of traditional Japanese crafts.
Say that.
Well, after the break, we'll be showing you an episode from a popular economics program, Gachiri Monday. Don't go away.
The view is almost like peering down on the star-filled night sky at your feet. is the city at night seen from a height of 450 meters. Make unforgettable memories. City light stretching for as far as the eye can see. Find it at Tokyo Skytree.
Hey, look at this. They're building a huge steel plant with Kobelco technology.
Kobelco? Never heard of it.
It's Japanese. They can make iron with incredible speed. What once took 8 hours can be done in just 10 minutes.
Wow, the Japanese are incredible. The country of karate.
Ha! 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 Karate has nothing to do with it.
True.
The talk of the world. Kobelco.
Mitsubishi Electric is helping to change the environment for the better around the world.
Green subway systems in India.
Green solar power systems in Singapore.
Sistem AC ramah lingkungan di Indonesia.
Eco changes for a greener tomorrow. Mitsubishi Electric.
Traditional.
Consistent.
Precise.
Speedy.
Professional. Innovative.
Polite. Quality from Japan. The best of business in Asia. SMBC. Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation.
Sasuke, a new type of sports entertainment program conquering the world.
It's about human achievement and people's passions, and I think that relates to almost everybody.
From Japan to the world, Ninja Warrior, Tokyo Broadcasting System.
You're watching Channel Japan. Today we'll be showing you an episode from a popular Japanese economics program, Gachiri Monday by TBS. Today's theme is businesses inspired by insects.
Now, there's research being done on spider silk to develop a new fibre that has more elasticity than nylon but is 4 times stronger than steel. Now, such research falls under the category of biomimetics, and that's where the structure and function of animals and plants are studied and used in science and technology. Now, due to scientific advances in nanotechnology, analysing and reproducing these structures at a molecular level is now possible, and recently this field has been drawing attention.
And today we focus on products that were developed using insect as a source of inspiration. Have a look.
Our first stop is Nippon Bunri University in Oita Prefecture. Apparently, there is a connection between aerospace engineering and insects. We meet a professor at the university's Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Professor Akira Obata is an engineer who is studying a particular insect.
トンボなんですよね。
トンボ？
トンボ。まあそう驚くほどのこともないんですけど。
トンボですか？
すごいですね。やればやるほどすごいみたい。
The dragonfly's ability to fly slowly has enthralled Obata.
簡単に言うとプラモデルを軽くして飛ばしたら飛ぶかって話。ほぼ落ちると言った方が。このぐらいの模型っていうのはよく飛ばないんです。今まで飛ばない理由がよく分からなかった。
One of the reasons why a plane can fly lies in the shape of its wings. The top is curved, and when air blows over it, it creates a region of low pressure over the top surface. This low air pressure forces the wing up, allowing the plane to fly in the sky. But unlike an airplane's wings, a dragonfly's look completely flat and thin. So why can this insect cruise slowly through the air?
ただ飛行機と違うのは、羽が4枚ありますね。でこの断面がねギザギザしたんです。これがすごいですね。でギザギザしている理由を調べて、これは本当にすごいと。
Obata discovered a great secret behind the dragonfly's wings. He studied them with a device that uses water to reconstruct airflow. A dragonfly's wing is the orange line in the middle. The yellow area is the airflow. There are many small swirls forming on top of the wing. The swirls form the shape like an airplane's wing, so the insect can fly as well, and slowly too. This robot was created based on a dragonfly's wings. The wing's surface is indeed jagged. It's small and light, but thanks to these wings it can fly in a slow and stable manner. Hopes are now high that this technology can be used for aerial observation of disaster-hit areas. The mechanism of a dragonfly's wings can also be applied to wind turbines. This is a windmill that can turn even in the slightest wind. Its blades are just like a dragonfly's.
今までの小型風車ですと値段が1桁高いんです。これですと1桁下がる可能性がありますから。
Because they are light, they are easy to carry around and set up.
エアコンの室外機。室外機とこんだけ電気がある。なるほど。
This could be a convenient way for using wind power.
でこれをもっと利用できる方法いろいろあると思います。
Obata's passion for the dragonfly could lead to more interesting discoveries.
これ本当にすごいですよ。
Our next stop is a company that processes metal, including stainless steel, in Niigata Prefecture.
おはようございます。おはようございます。よろしくお願いします。おはようございます。おはようございます。
The managing director shows us their product.
こちらではこれを作ってます。なんだこれ？これはステンレスの酸化発色です。ステンレスの酸化発色？はい。
He says that this stainless steel that comes in a beautiful range of colors is related to an insect.
ステンレスに全く着色しないで色をつける技術になります。人間の目には色がついて見えるんですけど、色素とかは一切入ってないんですよね。そのままステンレスそのままです。
What does an insect and this stainless steel have in common?
これはですね、この玉虫と関係があります。
The jewel beetle's most striking feature is that you can see a range of colors on the surface of its body, depending on the angle at which you look at it from.
この玉虫の色の仕組みとこの酸化発色の色の仕組みが同じ方法で色がついているんですね。
To simply explain why the jewel beetle has many colors, let's look at the basics. The colors we see are a selected reflection of light from an object. The jewel beetle is iridescent because its body has a multi-layer film structure with membranes that strongly reflect light. Depending on the angle, the membranes reflecting the light change. The color you see depends on the thickness of the membranes.
このステンレスの酸化発色もこの玉虫の光の反射で色がついているのと一緒で、これも表面に透明な膜がついてまして、その透明な層のおかげでいろんな色がついて見えるんですね。
Immersing the stainless steel in a strong chemical and oxidizing the surface creates membranes that reflect light. By individually creating membranes of a different thickness, you can produce stainless steel that shines in different colors. This type of steel doesn't rust easily, and has no added color on it, so it's being used in the medical field and in food processing factories. This company is also considering further possible uses. Our next stop is an Institute for Advanced Industrial Sciences in Tsukuba, Ibaraki Prefecture. Research into insects is being conducted at this National Institute's biomedical research facility.
바이오메저研究 G. 우와. 바이오하자드.
To find out more about their research, we speak with Dr. Yoshihiro Omiya.
創薬研究、薬を作るためのその基盤になるような技術を私たちは開発しております。大変大事な仕事で、これから皆さんの健康のためにいろんな技術を開発していきたいというふうに考えています。
A certain kind of insect is being researched.
私は光る虫でがっちりやっております。
Fireflies come to mind.
いやいや、もっとすごい光る虫がいるんです。
もっと
びっくりするぐらい光る虫です。
An insect that glows more than the firefly?
それは光コメツキムシなんです。
光コメツキムシ。
はい、ちょっと見てください。これです。
あ、
ちょっと写真しかないんですけども、ここが光っています。
The two round spots on this particular type of click beetle are bioluminescent organs that glow 10 times brighter than a firefly. They only live in South and Central America.
オスがメスを引くためにわざわざ光りながらこうずっと飛ぶんですよ。それで私はいますよって言って、これによって新しい薬がきっと見つかると思います。
The light emitted from the beetle is said to be extremely useful for looking at human cells when developing new medicine.
はい、細胞っていろんなこの薬が来た時、あるいは毒が来た時に応答します。でその時にどんな風にシグナルを出しているかがなかなか見えないわけですね。だから目印、色をつけなきゃいけない。でそこで細胞の中に色をつけるってことで、色の代わりに光を使ってみます。で従来はホタルの光を使ってたんですけども、どうしてもホタルの光だと弱くて困っていたんです。
弱いんですか？
はい、あの光だけで細胞の中を光らせようとするとちょっと弱すぎて微妙なシグナルが見えなかったんですね。
The white dots are human cancer cells containing luciferin, a luminescent material found in the firefly. This makes them easier to see. But it was still hard to see the actual shapes of the cells. Omiya went in search of a stronger form of luciferin, and what he found in Brazil was the light of the click beetle.
森で見た瞬間、これだって思いました。こんなに明るい虫がいるんだと。これだったら多分細胞の中ちゃんと覗けるだろう。細胞にちゃんとした目印がつけれるだろうって考えたんです。
These cancer cells contain the click beetle's luminescent material. Compared with the light from a firefly, it glows clearly, and we can see the shapes of the cells in more detail.
例えば薬が効いた時によく光るようにするとか、あとは体の中のもともとあるそのリズムを測るような、光によって知らせるような、そういう細胞を作ったりとかいろいろしております。
The team refined the luminescent material and is now developing various trial drugs. It's supplying the technology to pharmaceutical companies and helping to develop new medicine. Perhaps this laboratory will create an innovation that could help people all around the world. Our next stop is in Nishinomiya City in Hyogo Prefecture. We had expected to see a big company's research laboratory, but instead, we arrived at an ordinary house.
代表取締役の福田です。
It's hard to tell what kind of facility this is.
どうぞ。ありがとうございます。ここが当社の事務所兼研究室です。
Inside is a range of equipment for product development. Fukuda used to work at a pharmaceutical company, but after taking an interest in a particular insect, he quit 10 years ago and set up a venture firm with several others. We speak to him about his current research and work.
蚊に似せたものを作ったんです。
He set his eyes on the mosquito and made something similar to the blood-sucking insect.
いや、痛みが少なくなる針を作りました。痛みを軽減する針です。
Thin injection needles that are less painful do exist, but what's incredible about this particular one is that there is almost no pain. When bitten by a mosquito, you don't always notice. Fukuda thought there was a secret to this in the mosquito's mouth. We were shown the tip of his needle through a microscope.
これがこれ針です。
あ、これ針ですか？
そうです、針。これがギザギザね。
へえ。
The side of the needle is serrated, and this is why we are unaware when bitten by a mosquito.
面抵抗を全くなくすためにギザギザつけてるんですね。
面抵抗ってどういうことですか？
ちょっと手出していただけますか。今叩きますよ。
はい。痛い。何するんですか？
これでこう当たって擦れますでしょ。
痛い。はい、
次いきますよ。
はい。はい。なんですか？
今痛かったですか？どっちが痛かったですか？
最初です。
これですね。
はい。
これは結局大きな面で叩くのと小さな面とそれから大きな面で違うということですね、痛みが。
Ordinary injection needles are painful because the entire needle comes in contact with the cells. But with a serrated needle similar to that of a mosquito, there is less pain because there's less contact with the cells.
今までやる注射針というのは金属なんですけども、これの針は樹脂でできています。
Since going on sale in 2012, 100,000 needles made of resin have already been shipped, and they've drawn wide acclaim.
Well, it's very surprising to see those small insects possess such special qualities.
It really is, isn't it? And there are many animals and plants that have special functions, and biomimetics is a field that applies them to science and technology. So it's gaining attention worldwide, and different fields are cooperating, such as zoology or engineering and medicine, and people have high hopes for biomimetics to evolve.
So can you show me some example of this biomimetics?
Yes. For example, one is silkworms, and they have played a key role in silk production, an industry that supported Japan in the past, but now it's regaining interest from the Faculty of Agriculture at Iwate University.
Well, what aspect of the silkworm are they focusing on?
Well, silkworm larvae spin cocoons and then enter a pupal state, and in the pupa they create hormones to enter dormancy, and then they barely move. So Iwate University is researching to see if this hormone can put cancer cells to sleep, and have run successful experiments so far. And the university is now pushing forward the research to eventually reach a practical application.
Well, has any other biomimetics has actually become practical?
Well, we have one that we can show you. This cutting-edge tape was inspired by geckos. We have a picture of a gecko feet here, foot there. And it's a tape that can be reused over and over again. And also, unlike regular tape, it doesn't leave an adhesive residue. That's what's special about it.
Well, this tape and gecko's feet, I don't see any relations, but how is it related to geckos?
Well, the thing is, geckos have 100,000 to 1 million fine hair-like structures per square millimeter on the back of their feet here.
Really?
And this is a close-up of the back of their feet. And the tip of each hair-like structure consists of 100 to 1,000 spatulae. And so these fine hair-like structures allow geckos to adhere to walls without almost no space between their toes and the walls.
So meaning that this tape actually mimics the gecko's structure.
Exactly.
Well, I think this tape can be used in various fields, since plants and animals have acquired many special features as a part of our evolutions. I think there must be many other aspects that would be helpful for us. Well, that's it for this edition of Channel Japan. We have much more in store for you, so make sure to tune in next week.
Yang จำได้หรือเปล่านะเรื่องต่างๆที่เกิดขึ้นตอนวาดรูปนี้ ฉันมีจริงฉันคงจะมีความสุขมากเลย
Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could do this? We make things like this possible through the power of chemistry. We're the Kaiteki company, Mitsubishi Chemical Holdings.
Through its World Heritage educational programs, Panasonic is teaching children the importance of protecting the environment. By supporting the conservation of World Heritage sites and providing environmental education, Panasonic is helping the next generation to achieve a sustainable lifestyle.
Panasonic.
Mitsui & Company.
Channel Japan. Your source for the voices and views of people and businesses across Japan. The latest reports on Japanese companies, culture, and technology. Find out what's happening on the ground. Every week, direct from Tokyo, Channel Japan.